Welcome to the MLC. It's your brother, Mr. Limba. You guys already know it's time for us to chop it up. Today, I'm not going to keep this video too long, maybe hopefully under 15 minutes, because I just want to quickly give you guys a little bit of something to think about, something to get in the comment section and actually chop up. Because oftentimes we talk about society and how sometimes it could be unfair because of the direction that it is leading everyone, including the sexes, when you're talking about the dynamics between men and women and our social interactions, So today we're going to talk about the Bagel Boss, this short man about 5 foot tall. He went viral because I believe he was in New York, where he went on a tangent inside a bagel shop at, I believe, 2 women because he believed they were making fun of his height. And he was fed up with the way women have been treating short men like himself. And he was going to let them have a piece of his mind. However, we understand that when you are in a simping society, there is always one who is caping. You understand there's always some man who is ready to be Superman and come to the rescue of all the degenerating and degenerate Lois Lanes. Okay, so he was tackled by a taller man to the ground. I am not even sure if that tackle was necessary. Now, this guy called the Bagel Boss did attempt to get in that man's face. So maybe that is the reason for the man tackling him. He did tell the man, if you like to take it outside, we can take it outside. But once again, I don't believe it was necessary for the man to tackle him to the ground, but he was tackled by a SIMP. Alright, so he was literally in the man's groin, and that's not to make fun of him because he is very short compared to that man who tackled him. So he was not really in the man's face. That's just to put things in perspective. Once again, no pun intended. I am just trying to get you guys to understand the facts, because on this channel, before I cover a story, especially about any particular person, I try to make sure I gather all the necessary information in order to paint the correct picture and give you guys a clear idea of what I am saying, what is going on, and what I am trying to get across, convey, and get you to see, and then you can chop it up and let me know your opinion. Okay, now many people criticize this man. They call him an incel, an involuntary celibate. Then the acronym spells incel. Alright, now he may be an involuntary celibate, but at the same time, he may get play probably from women he is not into. That doesn't mean he doesn't have any type of sexual intercourse, but it may not be from the women that he probably really want to go after. But many people call men who don't get a lot of feminine female attention, who seem to be angry, incels. However, I am here to tell you not every incel is angry. Now, I am no incel, and I also do not agree with much of the incel philosophy, and I will break down why to you brothers. I have taken some of my time, and I have went to incel channels, and I've listened to their philosophy and things that they have to say in order to get a proper understanding of multiple perspective of different men living in Western societies. Now, what I have discovered is that many incels, contrary to popular belief, do not live in their mother's basements. They do have jobs, and many of them are overachievers. They have 6-figure salary jobs. They make good money. Most of them make more money than most of us. So, with that into perspective, you guys will have to also understand not every incel hates women. This is where I disagree with a lot of incels. A lot of incels have given up on their pursuit of women altogether. To me, that is a defeated mindset. I am not saying to go ahead and pursue and chase women, but I believe if you see what you like, you should let nothing stop you from going after it. You say what you want to say, you do what you got to do, and let everybody else think what they want to think, because that's none of your dang business. As a man, you do what you want to do as long as you stay within the moral grounds and the legal grounds. That is my philosophy, and this is where I disagree with incels. Now, with that said, many people who have covered him have also not realized or failed to research, probably through the idea evading their mind, or through maybe just complete neglect. I'm not sure which one it is, but I've seen people cover this in the manosphere and they fail to realize that this man, all right, the Bagel Boss, as he is called, his real name is Chris Morgan, and he is a YouTuber like many of us. So he is a YouTube personality. That is something to take into account as we judge this situation in this scenario. Okay, he seemed to make videos where he kind of antagonized people and kind of try to get under their skin in order to get a reaction for his videos, and he posts them on YouTube and maybe other platforms. I am not sure. Now, he seemed to kind of go at women a lot. This may be because of how he truly feels, and he puts some form of satire to it, or maybe it has, nothing to do with how he feels. I'm not sure exactly his theme, but I do know he is a YouTuber. So if you guys were not aware of this, if nobody else told you this, he is a YouTuber. Now, what he said, now that you guys have all of this into perspective, what he said in the video where he was going off was, why is it okay for women to treat short men this way? Now, for those of you who don't know, before you try to criticize me once again, I've said this in many videos, I am 6'5", so I am no short man whatsoever. And I'm not saying this because I'm glad because it put me in favor with the ladies. I could care less what the ladies think. I'm about me, and women will always like me because my confidence is just really comes from within. It's something intangible that is just me. Okay. Now, what he said in the tangent, he said, why is it okay for women to always treat short men the way they do? Why is it okay for women to say, if you're below this height, you should just die? And I've seen women write stuff like this on Facebook. I've seen memes about it. And I'm sure it is also on dating websites, as he said. He said, why do women say, don't even talk to me if you're below a certain height? As if that is some form of personality disorder, as if that makes the man some form of an evil individual. Now, you guys know me for being a very balanced man on YouTube. Now, if you've seen me on Patreon, I teach from a very dark perspective on Patreon. On Patreon, you get dark limba. But on YouTube, I give you guys very balanced content, light and dark, well balanced. And I'm going to give you guys some balanced content right here. Women are at liberty to choose who they want to date and who they do not wish to date. I am completely fine with that. But this is where I take issue, because everybody overlook what he just said regarding what women say in regards to short men. This is where I take issue. I take issue with, why is it necessary for women to be condescending, rude, disrespectful, and body shaming? Because apparently body shaming only exists when women are fat and they don't want anyone to tell them that their stomachs are covering their kneecaps, even when standing. You understand? That seems to be body shaming. That if a woman had children and she has stretch marks, don't body shame. If she has no neck, don't body shame. If her face look like a plastic bag inside a microwave, don't body shame. Right? But a short person has a body. And it is wrong to sit there and get on them because their genetic disposition did not allow them to grow to the height that you find satisfactory. Now, a woman is at liberty to reject a person of a certain height if they choose. But there is no need to crush that person's feelings and self-esteem, or that person's inner confidence, because of what she doesn't like. There's no reason for that. She can say she has a boyfriend. She can say she have a husband. But she's being mean and society's applauding. Now, I want you brothers to think about that for a second, because there's a double standard here, and I want you brothers to chop that up with me in the comment section. That is a serious problem, because what it is doing is that it is damaging women throughout the generations. It's okay. I could care less about grown women right now. But how about our daughters? Many men in the manosphere have daughters. Many men in the comment sections have daughters. Many of us have nieces that have not been tainted yet, that have not been destroyed yet in every aspect of female destruction as we see in this society. So my question becomes, why is it okay that we are empowering a bully because the bully wears high heels? That is the question. You see, if I, a man, were to, let's take an example. Let's say this. A woman is standing in the middle of a restaurant or a library. And I walk up to her and I'm like, how you doing? You know, I'm smiling and talking to her. She can tell I'm flirting a little bit. And I ask her, you know, would you like to go out with me, you know, the cliche. Now, of course, I don't ask women. I usually just tell them, you know, either Friday night, you know, meet me at the gym or whatever. We can kick it, have some good conversation or whatever it is. But different men have different game or whatever the heck it is. Some guys are still asking women, which is a form of empowering women, which is not very good to do. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm not teaching game right now. So this guy approaches this woman and he asks her out, or he tells her to go out with him. And she looks at him and goes, instead of saying, I have a boyfriend or I have a husband or I'm sorry, lesbian, whatever she wants to say, something, right? Instead, she goes, oh no, I'm so sorry. You're too short for me. In front of everyone. And she finds it in her narcissistic mind that this is completely normal behavior, that this is something to do. And everybody else giggles and chuckles. You know, which is a positive reinforcement for her that what she is doing is completely normal. You understand? A guy approaches her and he says whatever, he's flirting, and she's in the middle of a public place and she goes, I don't date children. You know, you're shorter than my son. What are you going to do? Hump my leg? You know, like things like that are very rude. And this is the way women speak. Now, let's reverse that. Let's take an example. Let's say you are a man, one of us. Now, I'm standing there, good looking, in a public place, kind of quiet, let's say a library, and a woman approaches me and she's giggling and talking, and she's trying to get to know me, right? And she decides to ask me to go out with her for coffee or something. She'll like to know more about me while brushing her hair back and flirting. And I told her, I'm sorry, I don't date elephants. I'm sorry, I don't date fat chicks. Now, this is hypothetical here, YouTube. Cool your balls, right? Cool your balls, right? Everyone would be upset. Actually, people would stand up and try to fight me. You better take that back, buddy. You need to respect the lady. Your mama raised you that way. You understand what I'm saying, guys? There's a double standard. There's a way you can reject somebody. There's a way you can say no. You can still keep your preferences without being a crazy lunatic, a psychopath, a sociopath. Actually, I stand corrected. Not exactly a psychopath, but a sociopath. If you look at the psychological traits of a sociopath, most women fit that. Narcissistic, very rude, very condescending, an emotional abuser. Okay? There is no reason to be mean. Keep your preference and say no. Most straight men would not even be rude if a man tried to approach them. They'd be like, look here, buddy, this is not my thing. I only like women, all right? So, yeah. And watch them leave. That's it. There's no reason to throw punches. There's no reason to pull out a pistol. There is absolutely no reason to cuss them out. Just like, look, man, hey, I'm a straight man. That's all I got to say. And that's it. So, I want to ask this question. Where is society really taking their women? Because I see them taking them off of an edge and throwing them off of a cliff by letting them behave this way. Because this is detrimental from adult women going down to our little girls. So what do you guys got to say? Let me hear from you in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Keep your feet up and keep sipping that cold drink, because that is your boss frame. It's your brother, Mr. Limba. Stay tuned to the next video I got coming out real soon.